STDs, protection, birth control, all common subjects that students are taught in sex education. But what about abstinence?
In our special report tonight, KEZI 9 News reporter Jillian Smuckler joins us live tonight in the studio to explain how a religious group is sparking controversy and how they ended up in 4J classrooms. Jillian?
Matt Renee, the Eugene 4J school district says abstinence-only instruction is never allowed in their schools. But parents and students tell me it absolutely is.
The only reason why I know the amount of knowledge that I do is because I did the work.
Sex education has been a part of American schools since the 1960s. Today, some 60 years later, it's still controversial. The latest uproar is in Eugene, and it starts with an A.
The fact is that my child came home and shared with me abstinence stories from Dove Medical. And it was his realization, his comments, that he wasn't truly taught sex ed.
That's Nadine Bhatia, a parent at Roosevelt Middle School. And the Dove Medical she's talking about is a faith-based pregnancy diagnosis clinic that was invited into 4J to teach sex ed. Bhatia says a speaker from Dove tried to shame the kids into waiting to have sex, comparing it to an amusement park.
If you have a ticket to Disneyland and you're very excited because you're taking a family trip to Disneyland and you get in your car and you start driving and you pass a local amusement park like Enchanted Forest, don't stop and ride those rides. Wait, because Disneyland is going to be so much better.
Connor Gabor, a gay student at South Eugene, says groups like Dove make him feel left out.
The stuff that they say is so shaming. It approaches sex as if you're having sex in high school, then think about your reputation and how it's going to ruin your reputation. And that's not, to me, that's not fair. And to people who are survivors of sexual assault, who that wasn't even their choice, to hear that is wrong.
So what exactly is Dove Medical and what do they teach? For answers, I spoke to Dirk Weishar, the manager of Dove. He says his instructors never give students abstinence-only lectures and religion never enters the picture.
In general, what we teach is sexual risk avoidance education.
But on the Dove Medical website, the program is defined as one of abstinence. That term has since been changed to sexual risk avoidance. So what is that?
Decision-making and critical thinking skills. That's what we teach. That's all we teach, and we empower students to make healthy, safe choices.
And the research shows that young people, when given the information they need to make good decisions and the skills that they need to make those good decisions, they will, and they do.
Joanne Alba is the Education Programs Manager at Planned Parenthood in Eugene, another group that speaks in 4J. She tells me abstinence-only lectures can actually hurt a student's health.
They may make decisions that aren't going to be safe for them, where they aren't going to be protecting themselves if they choose to be sexually active.
So what's the district supposed to be teaching? According to state law, districts can promote abstinence as the most effective way to prevent pregnancy and the transmission of sexually transmitted diseases. But teachers are not allowed to use shame or fear-based tactics on students who have had or are having sexual intercourse. 3 years ago, 4J adopted a curriculum called Our Whole Lives. It's supposed to be a comprehensive human sexuality program that is non-religious in nature. A lot of people are claiming that they were teaching abstinence only in the program. What do you have to say about that?
Right. So we have reviewed the Dove Medical curriculum, and it isn't a district-sponsored or purchased curriculum. It's teachers invited Dove Medical in. We reviewed the curriculum, and the curriculum was about how to make healthy choices. There was not information that was supporting abstinence only or any religious or faith-based promotion going on. It was a curriculum designed to help students make healthy choices.
Karis McCrae, 4J's assistant superintendent for instruction, says teachers occasionally invite guest speakers to provide what she called multiple perspectives. But students and parents tell me that Dove Medical was in the schools more than just occasionally. Over a 2-month period earlier this year, Dove lectured at North Eugene, South Eugene, and Churchill High School, along with Roosevelt. 4J parents are notified in the beginning of the year that their child will be receiving human sexuality education, but they're not always given detailed information about which guest speakers are coming in. What do you have to say to parents who are nervous about religious groups coming in and teaching their children about sex?
Well, I can assure them that in the vetting process, we make sure that no religious beliefs are being promoted and the content and information that's being presented is neutral.
But that's not good enough for some people. A group called the Young Democrats of Lane County launched a petition drive demanding 4J not allow crisis pregnancy centers like Dove Medical into schools. It received thousands of signatures, something one of the petition organizers says speaks volumes.
It really just took off. Like, we didn't even have to do any work. Like, people were mad.
Students brought the petition to a school board meeting in March, but Bhatia says their accusations weren't taken seriously.
There was also a lot of blaming and shaming of our students and us as parents.
4J says it's working to make sure that parents are given more timely and detailed information when guest speakers come into the schools. But no matter which side is right, most parents agree that kids need someone to turn to.
Sometimes kids aren't comfortable coming to their parents about certain things. If a little boy doesn't know what's going on with his body, he's not going to go to his mom who has no idea what's happening. So it's better for them to have a professional that they can go and speak to and kind of get the right answers that they're looking for.
The key is honesty.
My biggest hope is that the children in 4J are going to be given scientific, clear information that is non-judgmental and empowers them to become their truly realized selves.
Because according to one parent,
We can't tell them to not have sex.
reporting in Eugene, Jillian Smuckler, KEZI 9 News.